it's me, Hyper Savage, and today, have you ever wished, man, I really love Papermate Flairs, but they're not good for coloring. I wish there was a way to color with them so they wouldn't eat a hole into the page. Well, Papermate has the answer. We have these Flair duals, one brush tip and one typical Flair pen tip, which is a bullet tip. So I found these, I can't even remember where I got them from, that's the worst part. I've been holding on to them for a couple of months. So, let's read the back. Flexible brush tip and one medium point tip for double the creativity, perfect for handlettering, journal, note-taking, and more. Smear and fade resistant, and won't bleed through paper. We'll see about that. Let's open this up. Okay, so first, looking upon it, it has that matte finish that the Papermate Flairs have. That's a little nub. I don't think the original Papermates have that, but I don't know if I just have an old set that still works kind of deal. I'm guessing it's to prevent rolling. And it has the typical end that a Flair has. And now we have an extra tip. It's a brush tip, and it is a felt brush tip. It is not a bristle one. So let's put these in rainbow order. I went ahead and grabbed a regular old Papermate so you guys can see the difference. This one has a flip where this has a nub. But anyways, that's not what we're here to discuss. We're here to look at how they color. So let me grab my sketchbook, open to a clean page. Well, here's a clean page, nothing behind it this time. I know one of the other times I did swatches, I had something glued to the back so I couldn't tell if it bled or not. So let's go ahead and swatch. Okay, so I'm finished swatching, and it did like this weird spotty texture thing. I don't know if you guys can see it that well. It reminds me of something like the Copic markers kind of did. Or just like have these weird like lighter spots in it. Hopefully you can see it. So let's go ahead and check if it bled. And I wouldn't say it bled. It definitely went through the paper. It didn't damage this paper at all. This is dollar store paper, very transparent. So it is saying something, but I noticed where it started to like bleed through to the other side, especially right here, is where I did the squiggles. And what was I doing with the squiggles? I was pressing down harder to see how flexible the brush tips were. And I would say that they aren't super flexible, like they're not any Sharpie creative marker flexible, but they're not bad. I think they're probably better for people who are beginners at hand lettering, who need more control at first. I'm not somebody who hand letters, so I could be completely wrong, but that's what I think. Now, I do feel like the pink and the orange are very similar. A little disappointing, because they do have an obvious orange, like a pinkish bubblegum color, and like a regular pink color. Like, they do have 3 options they could have gone with here, and I think that they're supposed to be the top 2 here, but I'm pretty sure they are different when you put them next to each other. So let me just show you what I mean. Here's like that peachy bubblegum color. And here's the orange color. Now here are these 2. It's not the same orange. So I'll give you guys a closer look here. It's not the same orange that they use. They chose to do a peachier one, and I don't know why. Why not just have a regular orange? I don't know. And let's also go ahead and see the yellows. I know the yellows look different for sure, because this is more of a true yellow, where that's more of a golden yellow. But I just want you to see it side by side. Don't get me wrong, I do like this yellow. It's like saffron, which is one of my favorite shades. It's my only favorite color of yellow. I don't really like yellow in general, but yeah, you can see that they're very different. I don't know why they chose the route that they did, because they have options. And then there's this as an option for pink as well. It's a very truer pink in my opinion, next to that peachy color. I don't know why they chose to put the peachy orange with the peachy pink in the same set. But they have options. They have room to grow. Now, I'm going to say that I think their formula is different because the one I just scribbled on is not doing that weird thing with the texture. You can kind of see it. So I don't know what's different about it other than it has to flow through a brush. So it probably has to be a little bit thinner. So let me grab the blues here and do a blend test. I think I grabbed the wrong blue. I meant to grab the dark blue. Let's just add it on. Let's grab another set of colors, because I did kind of flub that one up. I'm pretty sure that bled through. Yes, it did. So I don't think they blend good. Maybe if I was on different paper, but I plan on using these in more typical paper, not like artist paper. Like I'm talking about like journaling and perhaps like Amazon coloring books or color by numbers where they're not necessarily like amazing paper, you know what I mean? Let's see how bad it was. Yep, it's pretty bad. Even wrinkling the paper a bit. But again, not the worst because this is very, very, very thin paper. I do have the scrap paper right here. This is typical like 75-pound paper. Let's go ahead and try to blend on here instead. See if there's any difference. I wouldn't say it doesn't blend, but I did choose very similar colors, so I don't think it was going to be that hard to get here, but... And it's still doing that weird speckling thing on this paper as well, so it must be the markers. Let's see how layering will look. I would say they're kind of transparent, not like super transparent. And we do get a little bit of green here. I wouldn't call that purple, but it's not purple. It's like Skittles purple, you know. Not really purple, but that's what flavor it is. All right, now that I know these things, I'm going to pick out a coloring page to color. So I've chosen in my Foraging in the Wild coloring book, the fruit page. Fruit-ish page. I'm not sure if all these are fruits anymore. Is eggplant a fruit? You know what? I don't want to sound dumb, so I'm just going to be like, the produce page. Alright, I got my protective sheets behind the paper. Clamp it down, and let's get coloring. This is not the right color. Alright, it is time for the reveal. Boop. I don't think it's anything overwhelmingly awesome or anything. They work like other water-based markers where they are patchy and streaky. I don't think it's the worst patchiness or streakiness because of how big the brush is. It covers a lot of area at once, which is something I did like, but they don't blend very well together. And I think we need brown, but there is room to grow for them because they have a lot of colors already. It could be a matter of time when they come out in brush form, or it could be this is it because maybe it didn't do that well. I don't know. Them claiming that they don't bleed through paper, they certainly do a lot of that. Let me show you. I wouldn't say this paper is better than my sketchbook, but this is typical paper. And if you're talking about writing and hand lettering, I know a lot of people are much more serious about their journals and stuff now than they used to be, but wouldn't people be using like regular paper sometimes? I don't know, that's a really big claim to make in it for it not really being bleed proof. Now, do I think other people need to add them into their collection just because they like Papermate? No, if you have the colors for finer tip, that's fine, but if you like don't have anything with a brush tip that you want to like do hand lettering with, then maybe you want these. Just because I know Papermate is typically a good brand. But that is going to be it for me today. If you guys want to watch another marker or pen review, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. If you want to catch up on anything you missed, you can go ahead and tap the thumbnail here. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to do all the cool YouTube things of comment, liking, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!